This for quite some time. NBC, they finally announced last week to broadcast USFL games on NBC, USA Network, and Peacock. That's right. So NBC officially announced their broadcasting agreement with the USFL. This is the second time NBC has gotten in the mix with spring football. NBC was not part of the XFL 2.0 era television package, but it was part of the XFL 1.0 era. Peacock will also be airing fan-controlled football games this season starting in April as well. So Fox will be carrying 22 USFL games with NBC carrying 21. NBC will broadcast their games on NBC, USA Network, and Peacock. John Oran said sources said that NBC deal runs for 3 years and involves rights fees. And from what we're hearing, it's significant is the word being used to describe rights fees, not $5. Significant. NBC will carry 8 games on its broadcast channel, 9 games on USA Network, and 4 games on Peacock. Fox will carry 12 games on its broadcast channel and 10 on FS1. A formal announcement, of course, then came. We have that. So it looks like NBC is all in for spring football. They got a quote here for NBC. The deal provides programming at a time of year starting in April, the week after the Masters, when it has little competition. April is the perfect moment in the sports calendar to debut the USFL. I agree with that. I wish the XFL would not play in February just because it's cold. We love the spot in the calendar. NBC also likes the idea of spreading games across its 3 platforms, broadcast, cable, and streaming. It worked for us to have that platform flexibility. Of course, RN goes on to say that the league will play its games in Birmingham. That official announcement has not been made yet. Being told that's coming soon, probably in the new year. But everybody know, I mean, this is all lawyery stuff going on. That's coming soon with the USFL, that announcement in the new year. Remember, here's the interesting thing about this deal. The Alliance of American Football, AAF, as you all remember, launched in 2019 with games on CBS, Turner, and NFL One Network. But AAF paid for access on those channels. That was the first iteration of spring football in the United States. AAF jumped the gun, got in front of the XFL, and then paid to be on those channels, paid with money, of course, they didn't have. The XFL played its games on Fox, FS1, ESPN, and ABC. And that deal, Disney covered the cost of producing the games, while XFL took in the revenue from ticket sales. So we have pay to be on television to the XFL 2.0, not getting a TV deal, but the companies that are broadcasting it covering the broadcast of the games, which was, I've heard $100,000, $200,000 to broadcast those games, something that the networks were eating. Now you had Fox Sports and the Spring League, and now you have Fox Sports now owning the USFL and actually even going to NBC and getting feeds, no less. Now they're getting paid. So this is the 3rd iteration of spring football starting in 2019 that we went from paid for access to don't have to pay for access, but it will be covered, to now a competitor, Fox Sports, Fox and NBC, getting involved with Fox's property to broadcast and give them money to broadcast those games on NBC. That is truly a unique situation. So, but we've heard Fox and NBC's name being bantered out multiple times, and now we have an official agreement. So it's very exciting. So again, NBC Sports will present 21 USFL games in 2022 on NBC 8, USA Network 9, and Peacock 4, and Fox Sports will carry 22 games split between Fox 12 and then FS1 with 10. The combined regular season coverage on NBC and Fox will give the USFL more national over-the-air broadcast window, 20, than any regular scheduled sport in the first half of the year, which I think is fantastic. Again, they mentioned that the teams will be playing in the host city that will be announced shortly. that's coming down the pipe. We all know what that is. So there you have it. Massive news. Fox, NBC, and the USFL in the spring. A lot of people were like, oh, I mean, this shows you the power, and I am seeing the power firsthand of professional football. And I mean, I don't want to say anything, but DraftKings and fantasy football, and you get the drift. There's a lot of money in that, a lot of money in that. And these leagues are jumping, or these broadcast companies are jumping at the bit. And there was somebody who wrote an article I forget where it was like a week or so ago, and pointed out that Fox Sports owns some kind of betting app. And to be able to use this as a way to get people on their betting app is priceless based on the numbers when it comes to get somebody to go from like a DraftKings to a Fox sports betting app. That requires a lot of juice to get that person to leave that platform and not spend their money there and move their money over to something like Fox Sports. And they have apparently some kind of betting app, and that just making that transition over is huge. That's huge money when it comes to that. So to be able to have their own product and to be able to get that betting thing going on, now all of this stuff makes total sense of why the USFL and Fox would come to an agreement, because they can make revenue from their teams, they can make revenue from betting, and they can make revenue from ads. So it's a really super win for Fox. Next up, we got to see what the XFL's TV deal is going to look like, because if we keep progressing up the ladder, what the heck is the XFL's broadcast rights going to be with all the things that they have planned up their sleeve?